Ivan's first. Welcome to first. Oh, I forgot to get water. You know what? I'm going to be right back. Ooh, jeez. My camera's super shaky. There's a rumble. All right. Getting my water. Coming back. Well, I got to be hydrated. Come on. I can't do this stream parched. I'll wither away to nothing. Okay. Let's see. 4 of what? D12 and D14. Well, 2 of each. 2 D12s, 2 D14s. Ours are 14. Clip, clip, clip. How many minutes of mold line scraping will you watch today? So as you can see, I found my headphones. And I also figured out why my microphone wasn't working on my phone. It's because I muted it. I forgot there was a mute button. Sometimes my brain just doesn't work after a long, sweaty day of slaving for the man. And that's just how it goes. 12. There he is. Curse City. Clip. Alright, there's 2 of those guys. D11 and D13. There's 13. I was thinking about streaming building a Mark IV Space Marines. And then I remembered I had this to finish off. And I was at my favorite part. I haven't streamed since the middle of June. So it's been a long time. D11, D13. I got a 13, that's right. I need 11. Where's my homeboy 11? There he is. Do you have any secret projects on the go tonight, Mr. Ivan? Ivan? Alright, let's get that big old sprue out of there. So to avoid absolute duplicates, these 2 must go together. These 2 must go together. Then I must reverse it. Reverse it. There was a gentleman on the Tabletop Minions Discord who is doing audio talk, so I asked him to listen to one of my older videos that I did for... Oh yeah, it was the bug hunt video for the contest. And I asked for his feedback on it. He said my gain seemed a little too hot, but otherwise everything was pretty good. So I've turned down my gain. So hopefully it does not sound so hot. Yeah. Spindly tiny pieces. That's how it goes for Game Workshop now. Good to see you, Scott. Let's see, Ivan Sorensen. The project is done for the day. Oof. Ooh, you RPG'd tonight. Nice. You tidying up your Americans? Man, I want to order some Peter Pig, but the prices just kill me. They are literally more expensive than some 28mm miniatures I bought. Especially the shipping. So no sexy World War I guys for me. Yet. And 15mm. And I'm not going to get 172. Not doing it. So it looks like Pretzel works again now. It's announcing the songs I'm listening to, which is cool. Get the old chip tunes. I need to start doing some physio on this right arm here. I've been torquing it too much. And my tendons in my elbow are starting to stiffen up and get crunchy. So it's making me a little bit clumsier than I normally am. Oh yeah, this song. I love this song. Blue Moon is quite cheap. More like 18-ish. Like 18 millimeter. So they work with the Flames of War dudes. Yeah, sometimes you look at pictures of 15 millimeter guys and you're like, I don't know if I would like this. Once you get them in your hands, usually, they look a lot better. But yeah, the close-up details of their strangely pushed-in raisin faces. I'm like, that can't possibly look good. And they paint it up and it does look good. So yeah, Dodgeball Challenge this week is going well for me. I got a conundrum. Because my wife's going out of town to pick up my daughter from the city where her in-laws live. So I'll be home alone for at least one day. And it's tradition to buy pizza. I think pizza's against Dad Bod Challenge. But I really want pizza. But I do have some pizza shells in the freezer. Excuse me. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll make a homemade pizza. This definitely would be better for me than a store-bought one. But it's so nice getting off work and picking up the pizza, staring blankly at the TV for an hour or two, going to a food coma. You know, good times. All right. Let's clip off a little bit of that. A little more? Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I see. Blue Moon are a bit taller than Flames of War. 28 USD for 50 men's. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Now if I can get some loose guns, then we're talking. Seems like kind of a weird fit. Let's try it again. It's definitely the pig. Okay, no. I was just tripping. It's good. Yeah! Hello, Kazdoc. Cheap pizza night. I know. I really want it. But Ivan's laid down the Dad Bod Challenge, so I gotta behave for a whole week. Truth be told, I've been feeling pretty good though, so. Dad Bod Challenge a success, that's for sure. Not eating that bag of chips a day. It's really helping. I knew it had to come to an end eventually. Eating a bag of chips a day is not sustainable. Pizza at 10:30. Well, 10:30 is the perfect time for pizza, in my mind. Unless you get acid reflux. And then it's not. God, I hate being old. Stupid acid reflux. Let's see. Croissant has a World War I range, but it's only 1914. And they're Croissant height. Yeah. And offered by Croissant. Oh, Kurasan. What glue are you using? Looks like Tamiya. Yeah, it's the Tamiya extra thin. It's a bit cloudy now. I've been using it a lot. I spilled like half the bottle on my desk here, so it's a little melty. But think about getting like a new mat just for streaming, so it'll be all nice and clean instead of my dirty hobo workspace. But yeah, I love extra thin. It smells like a delicious bag of red licorice. Yeah, I think I'll keep Iron Manning it. You gotta do it. You gotta do. And by Iron Manning, I mean not eating a bag of chips. Well, it used to be like my tradition to eat a bag of chips on the ride home, and I was only working like a few days a week, so it wasn't so bad. So then when I started working like 5 days a week, then it became pretty bad. So yeah, I switched to nuts. Some roasted nuts. It's been really doing the trick. That guy looks fun. He's having a good time. All right. Number 2. Yeah, so I'm going to review this video afterwards too to see if I can critique my audio. There we go. With the new tweak to the settings I made. Hear that person, Brad? They had a lot to say about audio, so I have no idea if they know what they're talking about, but they really seemed like they did. My good friend Lord Draconum won't be here because he has to work today. I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing live streams as much, knowing he's not going to be around at night. He works for the Saddle Dome, I think, for the Calgary Stampede. And it was the Calgary Stampede ended last weekend. So he's been working all night. So we haven't got to chat too much. Definitely miss him. But it looks like gaming should be a go in the LGS that we play at, so we'll be back on track, getting our Rangers of Shadow Deep on. And who knows what other games. So many games. Well, been ignoring chat. Been waxing philosophically. I have to get my chat window now. Alright. Testers guy. Well, I like testers too. Especially the non-toxic. Because extra thin is extra thin. So it's not great for every single circumstance. Like if you got a piece you really need to hold together, I do like the non-toxic. For like, it's just stickiness. So you stick like a panel on and it just stays put. And then you can run the extra thin on the seams. It does a really good job. The black bottle with the metal neck. Oh yeah, I remember those. I never had one myself. I always use these tubes with a bit of like usually wire or something. Take a safety pin. And then I'll have it spread on like a plastic lid, and I'll just usually, dab it in where I need it. All right, next. Mr. Ivan, just have to stop eating chips permanently? Oh, geez. Not permanently. Come on. See, when I go to the Dollarama, they got like the $2 bags of chips, which are not too big. They're bigger than like a tiny bag of chips, but they're not as big as a full bag of chips. And those are perfect for crushing and not feeling too bad. Killer models, you need some Warhammer stuff, says Kazdog. Yeah. Yeah, you can't get these ones, unfortunately. These are the Curse City ones that have disappeared, but you can get ones that look pretty much like them. The, I don't know, they called the Ulfenkarn watch? They probably aren't. Wherever the new skeletons are for G Games Workshop anyway. I think you get a box of 20. I'll probably get some. I'm a skeleton addict. Chips are deviously designed to be entirely too edible is true. I gotta come on your stream one Sunday? Yeah. The only problem with streams on Sunday, I get invited to a lot of them, but I'm always doing family stuff. Because my wife asked me to book one day off from work, like constantly. Make it Sunday so we can do family things. Not that we always do family things, but sometimes just all bum around together and do nothing in particular. So I want to, and I might be able to, at least sporadically. But yeah, I've been working like full time, so When everyone's streaming during the day, I'm all working, sweaty, dealing with people. Ugh. Mr. Chris, how's it going? Yeah, the big loop. That's right. Good for terrain. Also liked the zombies. I have them somewhere else, so I can't show you, but they have like all the weird gravestones and stuff on their heads. And at first I thought they were the stupidest thing ever. And then decided to think of like all the modeling potential you could do on top with the basing and stuff on top of their backs. So you have basing and basing. And then it got me excited. So I'm actually looking forward to painting those zombies when I eventually get around to it. Yeah, they were really handsome. Games Workshop usually does a pretty good skeleton. Even like the old boxing mitt skeletons. But I love skeletons. I got a bunch of Oathmark and Wargames Factory skeletons to build too. At a later date. I went in with my friend Bythron, Lord Draconum. And I built half for him, and I did all those. I crushed them. And I still have to build my own half. So I need to take a little break, because it was a lot of building. The Wargames Factory skeletons are particularly fiddly. Fun, but fiddly. Ooh, that's a groove. Hello Earth by Chipsel. Huh. Sweet. Yeah. My muscles and tendons are all tight. It's hard to supplely flick away the clippings. They're not much for mold lines. That is one thing you could say. Super fiddly, but not too many mold lines. That's number 2. See, that's what I like about the Tamiya Thin, is you just drop it right in the seam. Just right in the seam. Just gets right on in there. And it's not too aggressive. It's not super melty like some plastic cements. I remember I have kits from the 90s that are just fused together with that plastic cement. I think that's too strong now to even be sold legally. High amounts of toluene, I think. Ooh. Well, Mr. Chris, if you have the time, you should bust them out. We could have ourselves a build-a-thon. I've been working with some older GW kits and some newer GW kits, and you can definitely tell a difference. Like I got some Chaos Possessed, and that was a lot of cleanup. But I do love those models. I don't like them as a pure Possessed, though. I like to mix them up to make them look more like a Chosen. So give them guns and stuff, but then the awesome bestial arms, and usually get the weirder helmets, but not the demon heads. And I love the winged backpacks. I want to build a Chaos avatar for myself with one of the winged backpacks. Yeah, that guy's awesome. So sassy. That's one thing. The other skeletons aren't quite as sassy as the Ulfenkarn. Ooh, you're gonna do some more Primaris work? It's good. It's good to stick to things. Yeah, right in the seam with the extra thin. And the brush is just so nice to work with. And then, of course, the other trick people like to do is when this gets like to the halfway point, you put your sprue bits in there and melt them, and then you have some sprue goo, which can be handy for all sorts of different things. They're very sealed, these jars. Tamiya, they know what they're doing. My clippers are also Tamiyas. They've been quite nice. That's right. Yeah, that's really why I got the Possess kit. All those awesome little bits. I just watched... What was it? Oh yeah, the Pacific Rim anime. I watched all of that while scraping mold lines. Well, I mostly listened to it. It was a good listen. Is this what I'm on? 21? No. What's going on here? Ah. I see what's happening. So who did I clip from? I'm confused. Ah, there we go. So I need 12 and 14. Ooh, nice. It's always good to pick up on new tricks. That's what's great about live streams. I love live streams because you can just pick up on so many random things. Usually new games or techniques, rumors. I spread the good word of 5 parsecs from home a lot on live streams that I join in. I just wait for the opportunity for someone to say, I really want a good sci-fi game that you can play solo. That's kind of like an RPG. And I'm like, ching, I'm in. Let me tell you about 5 parsecs from home. It's got everything you need. I was listening to, is it? The Game For podcast. And Uncle Adam was talking about how he wants like a role-playing version of Stargrave. I'm like, well, you already have 5 parsecs from home. That's really all you really need for a role-playing version of Stargrave. I think. But I don't know. I'm not really a role-playing guy. Maybe it doesn't count. I feel like it counts. D11. It just so happens I know the best game ever. Thirteen. Ah, here we go. So I got a one of the new Chaos Space Marines. I built him up with a heavy flamer. And I got him primed up to do my test run on for Luna Wolves. Because I want to do Luna Wolves, Chaos Marines, and Horus Heresy era Marines. And I'm just going to mix them all together. I'll never play 40k proper anyway, probably. I don't think I'll play Horus Heresy. But maybe. I definitely want the new box kit, anyway. Those beakies. Give me the Mark 6s. Amazing what a glossy book will do. That's right. There's so many people just clamoring, oh, I want this in a book format. When's this going to be in a book format? I don't need much. As long as it's not a giant wall of text, I'll play the game. Because my brain has trouble sorting through giant walls of text now. It was an issue when I was younger, but nowadays I need a little cohesion in the rules. A little separation and formatting. Alright. So pointy head. Maybe I'll just clean these both up first. And then I'll do the bodies. And then I'll pair them. Oh, Luna Wolves are getting a fancy new dude? Really? Nice. I didn't know that. I was just trying to think of... Basically, I really like white power armor. And I don't want to go through all the work of converting white scars to look good. And I don't really like white scars as just vanilla Marines. But Horus Heresy are all very vanilla looking, so that'd be quite proper for Luna Wolves. I don't really want to be Sons of Horus. I don't know why. Nothing against Horus. It's really the white. Really the white. That's really what it's all about. White black trim is going to be nice. And yeah, no, Luna Wolves aren't proper Chaos Marines. But there could be holdovers or something, I don't know. I'm just going to have them as worshippers of Malal. Everyone is a little bit sends a horse inside. How true. Yeah, I started doing some Chaos Marines as Crimson Slaughter. But I just wasn't quite feeling it. I'm still going to leave them as Crimson Slaughter. I'll finish off that project and just have a small band of those dudes. There's a lot of Khorne Berserkers in there anyway. So Crimson Slaughter works well for that. And I have Lord Cranon and the Hellbrute that comes with the Dark Vengeance. Yeah, I think it's Dark Vengeance. Yeah, it is. Dark Imperium was Plague Marines, which is another one I got to get around to doing soon. Do my wave 2 of Plague Marines. Alright, so you get pointy head this time. Oh, I didn't clip that. The new Chaos Marines? The Terminators I'm working on are 2019. So I think they're all around there. It's when the new Start Collecting box came out. With like the, what is it, a Venom Crawler? The little spider thing. And they had a box game that came out with, you know, those Primaris guys with the really long guns and the jump packs that you like. I think you built some up. Any more RPG and you're just playing Traveler. How true. Yeah, I'm a little behind on the chat. Ooh, cool. I have Horus on his chest. Yeah, I don't mind having a bit of Horus in there for sure. They are Luna Wolves after all. They should have some Horus in them. But definitely not Black Legion. I do not want to do Black Legion. I like the looks of Black Legion. I just don't want to do them. I don't want Abaddon or Abaddon. Abaddon. New characters in the gaming releases channel? Okay. I gotta take a peek. Let's take a look. Ah, there we go. July 22nd. Scroll up a little. 10 or 15? No, what is this? What madness? Nah, 15 millimeter would have been so good. Oh yeah, that guy. I think I did see him. Yeah, I love that helmet. Yeah, I'll get that guy, I think. He looks pretty darn good. Definitely an aesthetic I like. That'll look good in white with black trim. 100%. We'll definitely consider. And back to here. Back to here. Abaddon. Abaddon. What's your name? Abaddon. And I'm BG Mike. There we go. It is one kind of weird thing. The GW has a lot of flash on there, a lot of bases. I'm a little disappointed they went with 25s when they could have gone with 28s. I think 28s would have suited these guys a little better. So yeah, big plans. I got lots of projects to finish still. Celestial Lions, gotta finish those. Relictors, I'll probably just be working on those forever, honestly. I'll always be adding to that force, because that's gonna be my big force. Everybody else is a little bit smaller, like the Celestial Lions are all gonna be Primaris, while all the Relictors will be Firstborn Marines. That's what they call them now, right? Firstborn? Or is it Trueborn? I think it's Firstborn. They probably wouldn't say Trueborn. Base them up with 3 figs per base. That's right. I do like 1-2-3 basing. I have to get some super thin 25 by 50 millimeter bases for the cavalry, the 15 milli cavalry I got. And I'm going to start painting those guys up for I don't even know what. Some sort of game. Definitely some KPS. And battle system. That's right, battle system. Give everyone a 40. I don't know, I do like a ratio. I feel like a certain miniature fits on a certain base best. Like when they had the old orcs on the 25s. They just didn't look right. Same with the Marines. You could tell they belonged on something bigger. So when they put them on 32s, they looked, I think, a perfect ratio. And if you put them on a 40, that's kind of big. Kind of raises their sphere of influence too, though. This makes them look a bit more important like a character, so that's a nice way to differentiate between rank and file and characters is the base size. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty good so far. And you mix up the bodies so they're not 100% samey. Oh, there's some chat in the way there. Yeah, I do like 40 millimeter circular. I got some thin ones. Like these guys are on 40s. These Frenchmen. 40 looks really good, I think, for 3 dudes on a round. It's true. You can't base everything on a penny. Alright, D16 and D19 are next. Here's 16. I don't know if I showed it off. Maybe I'll show it off now. It's not quite done. Still a work in progress build. I've been kit bashing up Skeleton Champion for my own pleasure. He's got a War Games Atlantic body, which is like the biggest skeleton bodies you can get. Except for maybe the Tomb Kings, because these are Tomb King's arms. And they still look massive, even on this giant body. And he's got a tiny regular head. So I imagine he's some sort of like gorilla dude. He's got a cool fur cape. I want to put something else on there too, though. So he's not done yet. Might try my hand at like green stuffing something for the front. Maybe give him a little skirt or whatnot. Haven't quite decided yet. Yeah, he's here for a good time. That's why I like my skeletons. Jovial. 16 and 19. I was thinking if I played Realm Quest or some other kind of dumb, chunky fantasy game, I'd use that guy as a champion. Maybe a player character if I could. 19 needs D18. Okay. And D18 is a sword. Ah, there it is. The one thing I dislike about Curse City is everybody has a rusty pitted sword. And I'm okay with the Elfin Watch having rusty pitted swords. But I don't know why the Vampire Champion has a rusty pitted sword. So I guess not everyone has a rusty pitted sword. Too many people have rusty pitted swords. And then 15 and 17. Oop. Oh. Skeleton armies. So festive. That's like the Day of the Dead and the Sugar Skulls. That's what I want. Right here. Yeah, the GW release was kind of funny. Curse City comes out and disappears. And they come out with all the Soulblight Gravelord stuff. The New Age Sigmar. Plus all the announcements of all the other stuff that's coming out. I did feel a bit overwhelmed by all the releases. I'm like, that's too much stuff that I want. So I don't know what I want to get. So I didn't get anything. I got some old stuff instead. Which has got to be a marketing tactic too. If you get everyone hyped on the new stuff and they can't get it, maybe they'll buy the old stuff. D17. What are we sitting at? Our time is good. I think I'll finish off these two, and then I'll end the stream. Well, I do want to do all four. Ugh. Alright, so we got this guy. He gets this. That's a good fit. That Kill Team box, super tempting. I do like the fact that it's a special ops grot. I think that's pretty awesome. If I'm lucky, there'll be a pretty good amount of time between Kill Team and the new Horus Heresy. Ooh. You have the new Kill Team on order already? Nice. Ivan wants the Kill Team? Yeah. I was listening to Modeling for Advantage, and the Restless Kaiser says the Death Corps of Krieg are actually more based on the French than they are on the Germans of World War I. What do you think, Ivan? Aesthetically. Might just get the rule book, yeah. The problem is all that sweet terrain in the Kill Team box. That's where they always get me, those starter sets. See, I've never been tempted by the Commander's Edition of 40k because the terrain isn't that sweet. It's okay. If I didn't already have all those Necrons, I might be a little more tempted by the Commander's Edition. And I'm somewhat tempted by the, was it Extremis from the new Age of Sigmar. because the terrain looks decent, but it's still not like super. It's not a super big tipping point, but the terrain in Kilting Box is just, oh, it looks so tasty, especially since it's all orky. That's really cool. And me think about the fact though that I still haven't built my original Kill Team terrain, so I started building that, and I'm really impressed by how well it goes together so far. I haven't got to the big pieces yet, but yeah, assembly was really quick and easy. I was very impressed. It's a real shame that they didn't continue that Kill Team box. I don't even know if you could get that terrain anymore, if it's still produced or not. Warcry style expansions could be interesting. The first GW terrain you own? Oh, I've had GW terrain since not Mordheim. I'm gonna say 4th edition Warhammer 40k, because it came with those little runes, which I still use. I love those runes. Little tiny corner runes. The great coat look is more French. Oh yes. And you think it could go either way? A little A, a little B, a little Germany, a little France. Oh yeah, what kind of words do you want to hear in French? I'm not saying I can speak French. I can tell you I've drank a lot with Quebecois. And my French always got better when I was drinking, perhaps. And while I'm not drinking now, I can pretend like I am. But yeah, there's certain words in Canada that you just say in a Frenchish way, so I could always try my hand at it. Like I say croissant. Is that the proper way to say it? Maybe. Croissant. Place names? Oh, which places? Like, you guys have a city or area in Washington called, you call it Coeur d'Alene, right? I think in French it's Coeur d'Alene. But I could be wrong. It's funny you learn French all the way through school here. But unless you actually go and hang out with French people, it doesn't really stick. My daughter's Spanish is getting really good, though, from school. And she actually gets a chance to speak it to her relatives, so that's helpful. I never had any French relatives. What I really should have done was dated a Quebecois girl. Then my French would have been good. Oh, geez. I don't even know those. I have no... Yeah. No, I can't even guess how you pronounce. Arras. Aisne? Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so you got a sword. And you got a pointy head. You're both pointy. Come on. You guys look almost exactly the same. Oh, but you got a winning smile. Alright, Stoke Eye can be on the spear. Smiley can be on here for now. And then we'll reverse it. You know what? I am going to press through. I'm going to do the other two guys. Then I'll call it a quits. Arachi? Ain? Ain. Okay, interesting. My almost high school French has failed. See, this is what monopose is all about. Just one little peg in the center for a funly posed dude. It's somewhat dynamic, but not too dynamic, because you don't really need him too dynamic. You know? Should have married a Quebec lady. I know. Instead, I've got the Swedish Colombian lady. Oxca de Oso. Oxca de Oso. I think that's what she usually says. I learned that my Swedish has definitely dropped since I don't see my mother-in-law so much. Not that it was ever great, but the first time I heard that, I thought they were saying Oxkidlioso. It's like, that's a strange thing to say. I don't know what that means. Married the Swedish Colombian lady in Quebec. We're watching a video after I posted the one about the Icelandic comedian talking about all the Scandinavian languages. We watched a video on why Danish sounds so funny and kind of the history of the Norse language and how it diverged, particularly in regards to the Danes and how they changed the pronunciation of certain things over time. It's really interesting. I do like hearing about the evolution of languages and how they change. Or why we do certain things in certain languages. Like the English and our love of the hard R. Which apparently comes from an Irish influence. My wife is saying. I'd have to watch something on that too to really understand it fully. Number 15. Number 17. The Linguistic Drift. Sometimes she likes to watch videos on modern people speaking Old English. That's always really interesting to listen to. It's like, how much of this can I actually understand? Not a heck of a lot, usually. Alright, there's 19. I like this one too. Give Hope by Aphelion. D16. There's 16. Yeah, so tonight's stream is supposed to be tanks. Usually I do tanks on Thursday, but I got lots of cool tanks to build. But I felt like building a dude instead. Skeledudes is how it turned out to be today. Whoa, there we go. Medieval English gets pretty wild, yeah. Yeah, I remember going to school with people who couldn't even understand Shakespearean English. I'm like, well, that's pretty easy. I think I read a translation of Mort d'Arthur with Middle English once in high school or junior high. And that was a chew. And that was just Middle English. pretty fun, though. The archaic sentence structure, but modernized spelling. Yeah. It is the best balance of comprehension and mood, I would say. Atmosphere. Intent. That's why I always like watching shows with the original language, but with subtitles. I feel like you get a better atmosphere than just some dudes dubbing it up. Because even if the words aren't exactly correct, you get the emotion, the proper emotion that was filmed in. And so by means King Uther sent for his duke, charging him to bring his wife with him, for she was called a fair lady, and a passing wise, and her name was called Igraine. Verses, and so by means King Uther, it's funny, sent for his duke, charging him to bring his wife with him, for she was called a fair lady, and a passage ways, her name was called Igraine. There's something fun about Old English, though. Oh yeah, so I liked your the Hex Night podcast on the monsters. It's pretty entertaining. I don't know why, but I love the idea of those. What are they just called? The red eyes? Just a bunch of jerks. Makes me think of junior high. Walk around, harassing people. No reason. Those jerks. Yeah, I like the gargoyle bit too. Oh, and the Stephen King movie is called Christine, isn't it? With the car that becomes possessed. Pretty sure it was Christine. And Carrie was the one where she freaks out and murders everyone with her mind at the end. The dirty pillows. Red eyes or dicks. I wonder if we'll ever see something like that in a Nordic Weasel title. Just the asshole faction. So, stoic guy, they got the spear last time? Yeah. So now happy guy can have the spear. Spoilers, goddamn, spoilers! Do you listen to every single Hex Knight podcast like I do? Mr. Chris? I don't even play role-playing games. But I do like hearing what you guys have to say about them. I feel like you guys are less weird nerds about it. I've tried to listen to different role-playing podcasts. But yeah, they're definitely not all for me. So I like the ideas in role-playing. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, he's got little armored booties. You've been meaning to binge them? Oh, yeah. I always listen to them when I ride to work. There's 2 podcasts I'll listen to instantly as soon as they come out. But sometimes they come out at the exact same time, so then I gotta choose. And that's the Precinct Omega podcast and the Hex Knight podcast. Those are always my top choice. Whatever podcast I'm listening to at the time gets preempted. One of those 2. And if I gotta listen to only one, because they both came out at the same time, it's always Hex Knight first. And then Precinct Omega. You don't care that much about theory? Is that it? Is the RPG thing? Yeah, I really like Roby laying into things. I like it that even if I don't agree with his opinion, everything he has to say is still very interesting and unbiased, I'd have to say. Even when he's saying his own opinion, even when he's talking about biased things, he still seems pretty unbiased. I used to read RPGs constantly. I never played them, but I'd always read them. And then one day I just lost interest in reading the RPGs. I'd play one every once in a while. I think that's probably what it was. I'm like, I just don't care about playing them. I like reading them. I like the ideas. So I always really appreciate RPG ideas, but not necessarily the game. Usually the closer to a miniatures game the RPG was, the more I liked it, so. Especially when I started finding really cool games that blended the 2 together. I never looked back. So if anything, you could say Ivan killed my interest in RPGs. Call of Cthulhu sounds really good. I always love hearing about Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu. I never know if I'm saying it right. Does anyone know how to say it? I just made up word, right? You can just say it however you want. Cousins of the Call of Cthulhu. There's another podcast I listen to called Old as Hell Geeks and Gamers. Sometimes they talk about the RPGs they're playing. Or Life After the Cover Save. We'll talk about the RPGs. Yeah, I love Call of Cthulhu stories. Traveler. Excuse me, usually sounds pretty good when people talk about playing it. You killed it and got 50 XP. That's right. You leveled up. Well, gentlemen, I am going to take off. I've built 8 skeletons. I can hold up the other 2 now. Or 4, I should say. And they look great. And now I'm going to go spend time with my wife, which is always fun. So everyone, have a good night. And I'll try to do this again soon. All right, let's say bye.